Good evening, visitors. Welcome to the Australian War Memorial's last post ceremony. My name is Dan Hiscock, and joining us today from the Royal Australian Air Force is Flying Officer Gregory Young. We welcome the veterans who have served, those still serving, and the families that love and support them. The live stream of this ceremony is made possible by the Returned and Services League of Australia and the RSL and Services Clubs Association. We welcome members who are watching the broadcast of this ceremony across Australia. During this evening's ceremony, wreaths will be laid at the base of the pool of reflection by visitors to the memorial. If you're able, please stand and join in singing the national anthem. If you wish to and you're able, please be seated. The Australian War Memorial was the vision of Charles Bean, Australia's First World War official historian. Bean landed with the Australian troops on Gallipoli and stayed with them at the front through to the end of the war. The idea of this national memorial and museum came to him at Pozières, France, in the depths of the bloody fighting of 1916. Bean's idea was that this would be a place where families and friends could mourn loved ones buried in faraway places. It would also be a place that could help all Australians understand what these men and women had endured and what they had done for us. Bean's vision, to which we remain true, is best expressed as inscribed in the entrance to the memorial's galleries. Here is their spirit in the heart of the land they loved, and here we guard the record which they themselves made. Tonight we will read just one of the stories from the Roll of Honour, which lists the names of more than 103,000 men and women who have given their lives for us in war and on operations for more than a century. But first we present a lament, Flowers of the Forest. Wreaths or floral tributes will now be laid at the base of the pool of reflection.
Today we remember and pay tribute to Private John Edward Painter. John Painter was born on the 18th of January 1878 in the Adelaide suburb of Kensington, one of 10 children born to railway worker Charles Painter and his wife Annie. After attending St Andrew's Church of England Day School, he went on to become a clerk and civil servant. During his youth, he also joined the Adelaide Rifles and served in the militia. In 1906, he married Gertrude Ida Sullivan at St Andrew's Church in Walkerville before settling in the suburb of Norwood. In December the following year, a son, Roland, was born to the couple. John Painter enlisted in the Australian Imperial Force on the 16th of August 1915. He was assigned to the reinforcements of the 10th Battalion and began training in Australia. In January 1916, he embarked for active service from Adelaide on board the troopship Border. Painter reached Egypt in late February and was transferred to the 50th Battalion during the expansion of the AIF. Painter became ill and spent some time in hospital before embarking for France in June 1916. He arrived on the Western Front later that month and his war began in earnest. In August 1916, after attacks around the French village of Pozières, the Allies turned their attention to nearby ruins of Mouquet Farm, located in the strategically important position on the ridge extending northwest from Pozières. The cellars of the farm had been incorporated into the German defences, making it dangerous for advancing troops. On the night of the 14th of August, Painter's battalion attempted to advance their position and consolidate their new line. Painter was badly wounded during the attack. His comrades carried him back behind the lines, hoping to return to him after the battle. They placed him in a trench and propped up his head with a blanket, leaving a bottle of water within reach. 2 days later, Captain Tennyson Clark returned to the front lines to sketch the battlefield. There he found Private Painter in the trench where his comrades had left him. Painter was conscious, but badly wounded in the head and in both legs. Clark arranged for stretcher bearers to go back for Painter, but by the time they arrived, he was dead. Despite having located his body, Private Painter remained listed as wounded and missing for several months. His widow received several letters from conflicting reports from her husband's fate, including one from Clark, detailing Painter's final moments. She later wrote to Base Records, "I received a notice from you that my husband had been reported wounded. Since then, I have had a letter from a comrade who said that he had been badly wounded during August. This morning I received another letter from another comrade who said he had been killed in action. I am very, very anxious. Please let me know any particulars about my husband." In June 1917, a court of inquiry ruled that Painter had been killed in action on the 16th of August 1916. His comrades remembered him as a hard-working, dutiful soldier who was a popular man in his battalion. Private Painter was later buried at Serre Road, No. 2 Cemetery, France. He was 38 years old. His name is listed on the honour roll to my right amongst almost 62,000 Australians who died while serving Australia in the First World War. His photograph is displayed today beside the pool of reflection. This is but one of the many stories of service and sacrifice told here at the Australian War Memorial. Now remember Private John Edward Painter, who gave his life for us, for our freedoms, and in the hope of a better world.
Please be upstanding for the reading of the ode and sounding of the last post.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
We will remember them.
Lest we forget.
Lest we forget. We leave you this evening with the words of the memorial's founder, Charles Bean. Many a man lying out there at Pozieres or in the low scrub of Gallipoli, with his poor, tired senses barely working through the fever of his brain, has thought in his last moments, well, it's over. But in Australia, they will be proud of this. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, that concludes the last post ceremony. On behalf of the Director and staff, thank you for visiting the Australian War Memorial today and for your continued support of the Memorials Development Project. We wish you all a very pleasant evening. Thank you.